Okay, so today we are going to start with the control statement, and after that we will see what is the difference between the very important question for interview, difference between undeclared and undefined, and after that we'll see the type conversion. Okay, yeah. So first of all, in control statement, why it is like the control statement is required. Let's say if you have to print something or you have to perform some operation, let's say like you want to automate something with the like certain you have to give the counter kind of thing, like 10 times it should print, 13 times it should print, or based on the condition you have to execute that. So then we have to use control statement. Okay, so in that we have the first statement is while. Okay, syntax here I'm writing. So inside this parents you need to pass the condition. Okay, condition, and if this condition is true, then only inside this while block, or you can say this while block body is going to be executed. Okay, based on this condition, just it will validate based on the like boolean results whether it is true or false, then only it will allow you to enter inside the body. So this is the first statement which we are going to learn. And you need to remember one thing, like this while is a keyword. Okay, and here I'm using this parents. So if you are using any keyword and after that if you're using any like this what we say this parenthesis, so that is not a function. Okay, if you are writing any function, any predefined function or user defined function we will see later. But at least if you are familiar with like in any other programming language, if you're familiar with any other function things, so that's what I'm explaining here. So while is a keyword and then we have here parents, so that's why it is not a function, this is a statement. Okay, and as we know that JavaScript is a case sensitive programming language, so you cannot write this while like this or in any other form except this. Okay, so we are going to learn about this. So first of all, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to declare var. Okay, and here I'm writing simply score is equal to 0. Okay, and then here I'm going to write a condition while, and here I just want to print the score console.log. Okay, print the score, so same score we can write here. Okay, so here we have to print the score. Okay, we need to print the score, but when I need to print the score, here I'm going to write the condition that score is less than let's say 10. I'm saying check if a score is less than 10, allow this one to enter inside the body. So this is true. So how many times you think it is going to be executed? Initially, if you'll see, the score value is what? It is 0. It is 0 right now, no, because I have assigned it here while declaring this score variable. And here I'm just checking. This is a kind of condition as we were checking in if. Okay, so until and unless if this condition is true, it will execute this block. Okay, so here I'm saying the score is 0. 0 is less than 10. True or false?
True.
It's true.
True. So it will execute that score. So what is the score value right now?
0.
So how many times it is going to execute?
So continuously.
Only one time.
Only one.
Only one.
Yeah.
If so, it will get executed only once. Right?
While is, say, while is nothing but it will continuously execute until and unless if you are not going to break the loop, isn't it? So here just you are checking and saying, hey, if the score is 0, here right now, 0, and check the 0 is less than 10. So you are saying yes, here you can see, yes, then it will enter inside this block. It will execute. Okay, after that, again it will check. What is the score again? Again 0, and here 0 is less than 10, again it will print. So continuously it is going to print here, see, because I have not written any logic for that, like when this condition is satisfied, it should break. So I'm not incrementing it. Okay, so the always the score will be 0 only. So I need to just let me do one thing. Yep, it's got stuck. Let me close this. I'm going to simply open that about colon blank page again, and we'll close this one. Okay, Control Shift J to open the console. So what I have to do is simply, okay, last time we have practiced this one. So what I have to do, where score, initially I have declared this one, no, 0, and I'm saying continuously it will execute. It is not like if statement. Okay, uh, and what I have written over there, like when the score is, execute this block till then, and the condition is satisfied. Console.log, okay, and print the score, isn't it? So every time the condition, it will check and it will be like the same, because I'm not changing the value over here. So what I can do is change the score, okay, value is equal to every time plus 1. Okay, so a score is equal to a score, whatever value is there, take that one, add 1 in it, and finally assign this one to score, isn't it? So it will execute from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, till 9 it is executing, and finally it is returning what? The final value of score. So if you'll check, the final value of score is, that is 10, but it has executed just 0 to 9. Okay, so instead of writing this score is equal to score plus 1, what we can do, what else we
Score
can
plus
write?
score plus plus.
Score plus plus we can use, isn't it? Or even though instead of using that, we can write a score plus equal to 1, isn't it?
It
It
is
will
same
work,
as score plus one.
isn't it? So a
Yeah.
score plus plus and a score plus 1 is same. If you are using this compound operator, it is going to be executed like this in the same way. Just for your better understanding, now I'm going to here write like this, a score, okay, here we have seen this one, no, 0. So the value till here it is executing. The score is 9. Then it is returning. You can see it means the final value it is returning. It is not executing this block. Okay. One more thing we can do, instead of this, we can simply write score plus plus. Same. We are getting this one. And here we have 9. Okay, now if you'll check a score, you'll get 10, because here we have post increment. We have learned about this, no? First it will return the value, then only it will increment. That we have already learned. So that's why here you are getting, in this case, 9. Okay, previously you were getting 10. Okay, is that clear? So while here you can use this control statement, you can use. So just you need to pass a condition. If you will not pass any like increment value, or if you are not going to update that value which you are comparing, it's going to execute infinite time. Okay, so every time you need to update the value. So here we have plus plus. Okay, so what if you have to increment the score each and every time by 2, not 1? What you have to do? Tell me. Anyone? Here we have plus plus. What you want to increment? Plus plus means just you can increment 1. What if you want to increment every time 2?
Or even
Sorry,
even
even?
no.
No, no, I'm not talking about that. Even not. Means in every iteration, in every iteration, I want to add 2. What we can do? Can we write like this? Is it correct? Whatever score value is there, add every time 2 in it. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, like that is working, no? Now I'll show you how exactly it is working. I'll put a debugger over here. Okay. And I'm going to keep this one as plus only, plus plus, and we'll show you. And instead of 10, just I'll take for 5 iteration in this case. Okay. So we do have a keyword called debugger. Okay. That you can place over there. See, when I'm executing this, no, it's coming here. So right now, if you'll see, what is the score? Are you able to see here? What is the score?
0.
0. It is showing, no? So 0 is less than 5. True or false?
True.
True. Okay. Means it will go inside. So it is coming here in this line. Okay. And what is the value inside score? That is 0. So it will print this one. So if you'll see here, right now there's nothing. If you'll see here, now this control moved to the score plus plus. So it means it has printed already score 0. First thing is done, isn't it? Now it is going to check the value. So it will return first score, and then see, it is going to increment it by 1. So now a score value will be 1. So 1 is less than 5. True or false?
True.
True. So again, it is going to execute this one, isn't it? So I'm just going to the next step. Here it is coming. It will execute this console, and again it will update the score value. So before going to that, here you can see a score value. It has printed here. Okay. Now again it will check. So while what it is doing, every time it will check condition until and unless it is not satisfied, means it is getting failed, then only it will skip this block. So right now the score is 2. So 2 is less than 5. It is true. It will print the score and will update that. See here 2. It has updated the score value. Now the updated score value is 3. 3 is less than 5. True. It will again print the score. And here you can see that is 3. Now the value updated. It is 4. 4 is less than 5. True or false? True only. So it is going to inside that block, it will print the value and it will update the, here see 4, and now it is going to update the score. Now see, again it will come to this one. What is the value right now?
5.
And 5 is less than 5 is true or false?
False.
So it will break. See, instead of going inside this, it will come here and it will terminate the loop. Okay, see here. So it is printing like this, and the final value you can see at the time it will return 4. And now if you will check the score value, because we are using post increment, now if you will check the score value, that is 5. Okay, is that clear? So while is nothing but it is kind of loop. Okay, so it is going to execute whatever you have written inside this block if this condition is true. Okay, if this condition is true, and based on the boolean like expression, like the final evaluation it will do based on the boolean only. So let's say if I'm saying here now, okay, simply I'm saying a score. Okay, what will be the output now? I'm going to remove this debugger, this one also. Tell me, anyone?
It inside a loop. It continuously increasing the number only.
Anyone else? Is that true? What is the value inside this score right now?
0.
But 0.
So 0 is a true value or falsy?
False.
Oh, false.
So it will execute that block or not?
No.
That's what I said. Like, you need to remember, just now I told you it is going to execute these things based on the Boolean expression. Okay. The final value, if you have 0, so in Boolean, what it will be? False. So false means it is not going to execute this. Is that clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So now we do have here another loop, that is do while. Okay. So for that, what you have to do, you have to simply write a keyword called do, then one curly brace. Okay. Here you have to, let's say you are going to write var. Okay. Okay, var. And then input is equal to, I'm going to write here prompt. Prompt, you know, for what purpose we use prompt? To take any input from the user. It will just prompt a kind of pop-up. Okay, please enter a value. Okay, here simply I'm asking please enter a value, and then here I'm checking if this input is greater than, or input is, let's say, equal to 30. Okay, then what it is going to do, console.log, and will print, right? Just I'm writing one condition like this. So here we have first do block, and then here we have what? While. Okay, and here I'm going to terminate this one. Before that, We'll change this one, otherwise where uh, let's say I'm going to just going to write the same thing. Score is equal to, let's say here I'm writing 0. Okay, and 1 second. Here in prompt, I'm going to use the same thing. Instead of declaring the new variable, what I'm going to do is I'm writing simply score. If a score is less than 10, I'm saying one condition here. Okay, we'll remove this completely. Let me do this one only. I'm going to print a score here. Okay, and a score plus plus. So first time what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here 11. Okay, so how it is going to print, you will see. What is the difference between a do while, you will be able to understand. So if you will see, what is the initial score right now? Anyone?
11.
11. Here I'm saying do, means do execute this line, this block. Okay, so console.log, what is the score right now?
11.
11. And it is going to execute this one now, score plus plus. Okay, so it will be 12. So a score is less than 10 or greater than 10?
Yes.
Greater than, so it
Yes.
is false, no? Still it is printing a score is 11. Okay, so what is the meaning of do while here? Even though if you have a false statement, the first time it is going to execute the do block. Okay, first time I'm saying. And now if you have, let's say here score is 0. Okay, so it is going to execute in the same way as we were executing for while. So first time it is executing, what is the score? That is 0. Then it is incrementing and then it is checking. So here also we'll put a debugger and we'll see how actually it is going to execute here, the JavaScript engine. Debugger. Okay. Let me do one thing. Here it is printing, no? So instead of taking those many iterations, it is better to take just for 5 iterations. So right now, if you'll see here, okay, right now, if you'll see here, we have this. I'm going to execute this. So where it is going? Without checking condition, it is going inside do block without checking the condition. And here, what is the value for score is 0. So see here it already printed that one. Now it is going to update the value. Okay, so it will update and then here see, first it is updating and then it is comparing. Now updated value is 1. Initially it was 0. Now it is 1. And then 1 is less than 5 or not? It is less than 5. So it is going to again execute the do block. So the score value is now 1. So it will print here. Let's see. See here we have 1. Again it will update. And then it is going to again compare the value here. So a score is right now 2, which is less than 5. So again it will execute the do block. Okay, so here you can see now the updated value is 2. So it will print here, see 2. It will update and then again it will compare. So now the score value is 3, which is less than 5. Again it will execute the do block. So here you have the updated score, that is 3. It will update and again it will compare. 4 is less than 5. Again, it will execute the do block. Okay. It will print the value, that is 4. It will update the value. Now, what is the value of a score? Score is 5. And here we are comparing with 5. So 5 is less than 5 is true or false?
False.
False. So now see, it will break the loop from there. And finally, it will return you the value. Now, if you'll check the score, that is 5. Is that clear, everyone? So just the difference here, if you will see in while loop and do while loop. While loop will check first condition, then only it will allow you to execute the body, whatever you want to execute. Okay, and here in do while, even though if you have a false statement, the first time it is going to execute the do block. That's the only difference. Okay, but the both of them you can use for the like based on your like requirement, you can use this loop. Now we have the third loop, that is for loop. Okay, so the syntax here the for is, first you need to write here the initialization, you can say syntax something, initialize, or you can say begin with. Okay, the first thing, then semicolon you have to put here, then you have to write a condition. Based on that only this loop is going to run, or you can say it is going to iterate its body. You have to write condition as a second thing, that is the second expression. And the third one here, you have to write the steps. You can say the update value, or you can say steps update, or you can say the steps. And thereafter, whatever you are going to write here in between the blocks, it is going to execute based on the condition. If it is true, then only it will come inside this block. So let's say here we have this syntax. Let's say here I'm going to write var, again in the same thing, score is equal to 0. Okay, and here I'm going to write for open and close curly brace. Now I'm saying that a score should always begin with 0. A score, if it is less than 10, okay, then only execute the body and increment every time by 1. So a score plus plus. And now here I'm going to use simply console.log just to print that. And here your score value. Okay, see now it is printing in the same way. No, here you have the value 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 like that. Okay, but how it is executing? Anyone know the flow, how actually for loop gets executed? Anyone? See, one more thing I can tell you here. Instead of writing this, okay, if you want to declare this variable, no, here, so here also if you want, you can simply write var score is equal to 0. That is also fine. You can do this. This is allowed. See here. So now anyone can tell me what exactly we are doing here, how it is getting executed? The steps, the flow? No? See what is happening here. First, initially, as I said, first time it will start with this one, means it will begin with this one. So here it will say, hey, a score should start with every time, means you are resetting the counter kind of thing. It should start with 0. So what is the value of score right now? That is 0. So 0 is less than 10 or not?
10,
0 is less than 10.
2,
True. So immediately it will come inside and it will print the score. And then after printing this one, it is going to update the score. And then it will not come to the initialize thing. Okay. Just it will check the condition. So that flow I'm going to show you with this debugger keyword. This keyword I'm going to use here. So you can see here, you can observe here. So initially it is coming here to a score that is 0. Now, what is the score? 0, and 0 is less than 10 is true or not?
true,
True. So it will come immediately inside this one. Okay. So what is the value of a score? It will print that is 0. And now where it is coming? It is coming to the update expression, or you can say the steps. Here it is updating the value. Now, after updating, again it will come to the condition. Now it is not going to the initialization. Only the first time it is going to check the initialization expression. After that, it will check the condition. Based on the condition, if it is true, it will go inside that like for loop block, and then it will update the value. So likewise, it is happening. See, every time. See how it is working. Check condition. If it is true, go inside, update the value, again check condition. Like that only it is happening, no? Isn't it?
yes,
So in interview, if they are asking like how actually for loop gets executed, then you need to tell the flow here, how it is working. Now score is 9, which is less than 10. It is going to print. And now here, post updating that, if you'll see the score is 10. So 10 is less than 10, that is false. So it will come outside that loop. See here. Okay.
yes,
So
sir.
it is printing like this. Any question here in this for loop? Anyone? So what actually it is doing, literally instead of doing this, what is happening? Okay, 1 second. What is happening, internally, just it is doing if, okay, a score is less than 10. Okay. Print the score and increment the score. Copy, paste 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. It is working in the same way, no? Isn't it? So instead of writing these many if conditions, okay, and every time you are checking the condition and then updating the score, what we can do, we can replace these many ifs with the one loop. Okay. So that's why here we are using a single loop. No need to write unnecessary lines here. Same thing. Okay. Multiple times. Let's say if you have to iterate 1000 times, then you will write 1000 times and then the same block. So that is not useful actually, no, that is not efficient. So the best way here, what you can do is simply you
Uh,
can write loop as many times you want to iterate that. Okay, is that clear? Now I'm going to show you something here. What if I'm going to remove this one? What will be the output? Anyone? See, here we have written this one. That was the like beginning step, or you can say the initialization, isn't it? For this for loop, like from where you want to start. I'm going to remove that one. What will be the output?
Error.
Error. Anyone else?
Same.
Yeah, it is going to be the same because I have already initialized here, no? So that is 0, and it is going to check the first time only. So it will be 0 only. So it is not going to check here. It will take the initial value as 0, and 0 is less than 10, and it is going to be the same, isn't it? What if I'm going to remove this one now?
Continues.
Continuously it is going to execute. Anyone else?
It won't increment.
Then what will happen exactly here if I'll run this code?
It will print only one. It will start from 0 and it
Hmm?
will check uh, less than 10. Then it will print that score.
How many times?
Take one time.
No, infinitely it is
Lifetime.
going to execute. See,
Okay. But plus
because
plus is
here
not.
plus is not there. That's why I'm saying every time it will check and the score is 0 only. So
Okay.
right now 0, first time 0 is less than 10. Okay, print again. 0 is less than 10, print. 0 is less than 10, print.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not
Yes. Yes.
incrementing, no.
Yeah. 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 Fine. Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
missed it.
So now what I'm going to do is, okay. So we have checked that one. What if I'm going to write here score plus plus? Anyone? We do not have initialization part. We do not have the update part. What will be the output? Just think in that flow, no? As I have explained what it is going to do.
It's same. It will print up to 9.
Exactly. Because here I'm incrementing, no, every time instead of this. So it is going to work in the same way. Okay. Okay, fine. Now tell me one thing. What if I'm going to remove this one and this one also? Now,
0.
0, just 0 or any error?
That condition has not been like
Error.
initialized or something. Error will show, right? Undefined or something.
No.
Then infinite too.
Yes, infinite loop. So here also it is going to again execute this block infinite times. You know why? Because Just I'm going to break this one. Okay. So the by default, if you'll see, whenever I'm saying that, hey, check the condition and based on that only execute that line. Actually, what is happening, every time by default, it will be true only. Even though if you are not giving initialization, even though if you're not giving any condition and any update thing, no, it will be true. So whenever you are passing any condition, that means it is true. Just you are passing a kind of what we say a check that at this point of time I need to break this loop. Okay, if you are saying, let's say a score is less than 10, when it is less than 10 it should break. Okay, means like when this condition is not satisfied, then it should break. By default it will be running like from the 0. So by default it is true only. Just you are giving a kind of like a strict instruction that when it will reach to this point, you need to break this loop, isn't it? So that's why here I'm writing like every time I'm updating this score value. See, once I'm reaching to that value, that is 10 is less than 10, then I'm breaking the loop. By default it is not checking the initialization. By default it is not checking the condition. If I'll remove, then also it will execute, isn't it? But what I'm saying here, when the score is less than 10, if this condition is getting satisfied, okay, then execute these loops, otherwise stop this one. Okay, so that is the flow actually here. Now what if I'm going to remove everything from here? What will be the output now? Anyone? You'll get error, syntax error. Okay, so these things are mandate actually. You need to place these semicolons at least, then only it is going to execute. So this is all about the loops. One more thing here we have, initialization is okay, fine. We can write here initialization as, let's say, a score should be 0 initially, and then I'm comparing here the score and I'm printing over here. What if after a particular check, okay, let's say you have like 1 lakh records, okay, in that if you are looking for one record, a single record, just you are searching for one record, let's say uh here we have record is like this, and let's say here you have 100, let's say 100 records are there. Okay, you need to run this code here. So for that, what you have to do, simply copy this one. Initially you need to start with the first record. So record should start from 1, and every time what you have to increment the record index, and here you have to say like what is the record length. So simply here we have one boxing thing that we will see in question. So simply you can write record, otherwise simply you can go with this, if less than and equal to 100, that also you can write, no? So how many records are there here? 100. What you are trying to do is, if, okay, if record value is equal to 45. Console dot log. Okay, console dot log. Here I'm going to simply write this record is available, and inside else block what we can write, simply not available. Okay, not available, unavailable. So what it is going to do here, every time it will run this one and it will check the record. If it will match record is equal to 45, then it will show you the record is available, otherwise record is not available. So 100 times it is going to run. So 44 times you see it is printing record is not available, and then it is saying hey, record is available, and after that again it is checking for the further like values here. Like see, the record is not available after that also, after 45. So total 55 and 44 is 99 plus 1. So just one record found here. So if you are able to find the record there, only if you want to stop, what you have to do here, we have one keyword called, okay, so if you are able to find this one, break the loop. Okay, so see, 44 times it was not able to find the record, and when it is able to find that one, it is just showing you that value or whatever you want, it is printing that, and after that it's terminating the loop. No need to check further. So here we are optimizing the time actually, isn't it? By using this, let's say you have 1 crore records and you are looking for that one, anything, like if you want to filter from there, then so if you are able to find when you are getting that value, after that no need to look for any other like record in that list, isn't it? So you have to stop from there. So you can use simply break to terminate the loop. It will come outside the loop immediately. Okay, another thing here we have, let's say if I'm going to mm, here I'm going to start with the, let's say here I'm saying number. So num is equal to 0, and num should start with 0. Num should be less than equal to 10, and now I'm going to update. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm simply saying here if, okay, here simply it is executing that value, no, 10 times or 11 times the same value. That is score because I have not updated that one. Here also I need to update the num. Fine. So it is executing this one. That's fine. But what I have to do is I need to do some filter here. If num double equal to, sorry, num, let's say percentile 2. Percentile we use for what? For remainder. Okay. So if the remainder is double equal to 0, whatever value you have, you are dividing with this 2. Okay. And if you are getting remainder 0, that is even. Okay. So here you can write simply console.log is even, copy, and here I'm going to write, okay, fine. Simply here I'm going to write this one as odd. So 0 is even, here it is saying, and 1 is odd. So I need to start it with like 1. That number I need to start it with 1. See, so 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even. Like that, you can see it is giving me even and odd. So that is simple. What if you have to skip one iteration, like the one, if you want to skip, what you can do is simply, if you want just odd number, let's say, or even number, in this case, let's say if you want just odd number, so what you can do is simply you can write here continue. Okay, continue. This is odd. So what it is doing, whenever it is getting the even value, now it is skipping the iteration and it is going again to the outside of the loop and it is continuing from there again. So I'll show you how actually it is executing every time. So you can use break whenever you want to break the loop completely. Okay, and continue to skip any iteration. If you want to skip, you can use continue, but make sure before your, like whatever you are doing, before your logic, you need to place that continue. Whenever that check you are giving, no, that check should be before your logic. If that is satisfied, then only the particular block should be executed. So here I'm going to write now debugger. Okay, and here, see, num is 0 right now, initially 0, but I'm initializing it with 1. So now num is 1, you can see. So num is 1 and 1 is less than 10. That is true. So it will go inside that. It will check num is 1 and 2 divided by 1 here. That is, it will give you, like if you'll check in that, no. So you will get like what we say 0 only. So here it is just, sorry, 1, not 0. So it is just printing this one in this case. Now, if you'll go for the next iteration, it will check the num value, that is 2. 2 divided by 2, that is 0, no? So 0 is equal to 0. So it will skip this loop. Now see, it is not going to this console. It is a skipping and going again to the next iteration. Now num is 2. It will check what is the num value is 3. So 3 divided by 2, you will get 1. So 1 is not equal to 0. So it will come here. See, and it will print the value here. Now we have updated value. If you will see, that is 4. So 4 divided by 2, you will get the remainder as 0. So 0 is equal to 0. So it will skip this block. See, it will not go to this console now. Hey, see, it is just going to update the value. So you can use continue and break like this. Okay, when you want to skip any iteration of any for loop, then you can use continue. If you want to break completely, you can go with the break keyword. Any question here? Anyone? No? No question? Do you have any question in this control statement? If no, then we can start the undefined and undeclared thing.
No, sir.
Okay. Defined versus between undeclared and undefined. Do you guys know what is the difference between these two things? Anyone? The grammatically, if you'll see in English grammar, the meaning is same for both of the words. But here in this JavaScript language, we do have like two different meanings actually. What is undeclared and what is undefined? Let's say if I'm declaring a variable, one second. Yeah, declaring a variable called magic. What is the value inside magic right now?
undeclared.
It has not been initialized, right?
If you remember, like in my, I think first session or second session, I have explained about these things. So if you're not initializing any value in a variable, then the default value will be undefined.
Undefined, yeah.
So if you'll type here, see magic, you are getting undefined, isn't it? If you'll update it, magic is equal to 10, magic 10 you are getting, isn't it? So the default value is what? Undefined, isn't it?
Undefined.
Yeah. So you can say if something is not, something is declared but not initialized right now, then you can say that is undefined. Okay. If something is declared and not initialized right now, if there is no value in it, you can say that is undefined. Okay. And undeclared means, let's say I'm searching for a variable called data. I have declared this variable right now or not?
No. No.
So I'll get error. So this is undeclared. So the you can say if something is not declared, okay, then that is undeclared. If something is declared and there is no value right now in it, then that is undefined. Make sense? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
The only exception is here if you are using type of operator. Let's say type of, type of we use for just to check the type of the value. Okay. Not the variable, type of the value. So here, if I'm going to check here type of data simply, so I have declared this identifier or not yet, this data. You can see I have not declared it. So that's why I was getting the type error. Even though if you have not declared, no, it will give you undefined in single quote. So if something is undefined, then also it will give you undefined, and something is undeclared, then also type of operator will give you undefined only. That is the different case. But the main thing is here, what is the difference between undeclared and undefined? Simply you can say when someone is asking something, if you are not lexically defining in your code any identifier and you are trying to call that, that is nothing but undeclared thing. Okay. And if you have defined something, some identifier, and right now there's no value present in that particular identifier, then it is undefined. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the basic difference. Okay. Now we have type conversion, the next thing. Okay. So in type conversion, the technical, actually the term is known as coercion in JavaScript. That is coercion. Okay. So here we are going to learn a lot of things, actually, how JavaScript engine works behind the scene. So first of all, I'm going to show you the abstract operations. What are the abstract operations JavaScript engine performs, that I will show you. The first thing is here inside abstract operation, that is to primitive. So you know in JavaScript what are the primitive things? We have, excuse me,
String number,
we have a string,
number,
we have number, we have boolean. Basically these things are there. We have null, we
undefined,
have undefined, we have
symbol,
big int, isn't it? We have any other one?
symbol,
We have symbol. Any
array,
other? Yeah. And in like non-primitive, we have
array, object,
object is there in non-primitive, isn't it?
yeah,
And anything is
array,
Array.
array is there. That is also non-primitive. Anything else?
Maybe that expression is there, no? Some regular.
So that is like comes under objects only. Here we
Reg-
have
Mhm.
array, and the last one is function. Okay.
That regular expression, it will not come under
So
non-primitive.
regular expression will comes under like the object only. Okay.
Okay.
We do have like some primitives. Here you can see this big int, symbol, null, undefined, boolean, number, string, and we have object, array, and function. So these are the like the non-primitive types. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, if you have like non-primitive things, okay, non-primitive things. So how you are going to do going to convert that into primitive. So for that, internally JavaScript engine has like two primitive operation that JavaScript engine does. Okay, primitive, two primitive. So inside two primitive, you need to pass one hint. Okay, and that is not sure like if you're going to convert that one into like either number or a string, you have to convert this one, but that is not a guarantee that it is going to convert based on the hint only. So what it is going to do, so if the hint is number, if the hint is number, if hint is number, it is going to call value of this function, JavaScript function. Okay, and after that, if it is not getting the primitive value, then it will try to invoke the toString function. Okay, these two. Okay, and this is the operation of two primitive. You need to remember here. You need to pass, if you want to convert any non-primitive value to primitive, based on the like here you have just number and a string, two hints. So if you have number, first it will try to invoke the value of, if still it is not getting the primitive value, it will try to invoke the toString method on that. Now if the hint is a string, okay, if the hint is a string, then what it is going to do, it is going to call first toString, what, to a string, okay, first, and then it will call the value of function. Okay, this basic thing you need to remember always. Here we have just two methods. Based on the hint only, it is going to convert these things. if you want to convert anything into two primitive. That is the rule. Okay. So first thing here, when you have something any type of data and you want to convert that into a string, first we will see what abstract. First we have seen the two primitive, no? Now we are going to see the another abstract operation of the JavaScript engine, that is to string. Okay, to a string we will see. So how actually it is going to work? So any value to a string, if you want to convert, then how it will work? See, let's say you have null. Okay, null. And if you will try to convert this one into a string, what you will get as a result? You know, anyone?
Null.
Null, same result, or
Yes.
some difference will be there.
Same.
Undefined, sir.
Sorry.
Undefined.
No. So first of all, do you know how to convert something into like a string?
Hello.
Yep. How to convert something into a string?
Sir, double quote.
To string.
To a string we can use, yeah. So see, let's see if I'm going to use this one, null. Okay, dot to a string. I'm getting error here. How to convert this one? Directly here I'll pass null. How? See, the simple thing you can do here right now, if you want to convert anything into a string, just add a like empty string in it. Let's say here you are going to perform this one null. What you are getting now? If you have this null, if you just try to concatenate this one, let's say concatenate this one with a string, you will get a string only. There is a rule that I'll show you how actually plus operators works. Okay, so just I'm here giving you one example that how you can convert something into a string. So let's say here you have 12. Okay, you want to convert this one into a string. So 12 dot to string is there, one method that you can use. Okay, and the same way, if you'll use here null, you will not get that. To a string will not work here. See, it is not working. There is a reason actually here for that one. So if you will check here type of, okay, null, it is getting object. That is not correct. That is a kind of bug. Same thing if we'll try to perform with the undefined, you are getting again error. Cannot read property of undefined reading to string. Okay, so these are the two native values. So we cannot use any what? We cannot use any method here on this one because that is not an object, and boxing is also not happening here. So one short trick here I'm going to use, just to convert anything into a string, you need to add here one empty quote. Let's say here we have 12. Okay, and if you want to convert this one into a string, let's say here we have 3, so it is concatenating, isn't it, and converting it into a string. So what you are getting here, 1 2 3 instead of 15. So in the same way, what I was trying to do here is I was just concatenating like this. Okay, This one. So if you will try to convert null into a string, you will get double quote null. Okay, not simply null, double quote null. What if you want to convert undefined into a string? What you will get? Anyone? Any idea? No? You will get double quote or single quote undefined. If we'll try to convert this one into string. Okay. What if you want to convert value true for the boolean I'm saying into a string? What you will get? Anyone? Any idea? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what if I'm going to convert the true? That is single quote true. Same for false. You need to note down these things. Okay, this is very important. First, if you are trying to convert null into a string, you will get double quote or single quote null. If you will try to convert undefined into a string, that is single quote, undefined, single quote true, single quote false. What if you will try to change something like this, value, let's say 23.435 or 345, sorry. So it will just convert into a string. What if I want to convert a number 0 to a string? You will get single quote 0. What if I'll give here minus, then minus 0? Anyone? Any idea? You will get 0 only. Okay. Minus 0 also returns 0. So this is all about, you can see here we have the normal primitive values. So primitive operations we have performed here. So another thing here we have, what if you are going to convert any object into a string? So for that, whenever you have any object, you need to perform two string operation on that. So what it will give you? So first it will try to convert that into two primitive. Okay, so it will apply two string operation on that. As we have seen just now in two primitive, what we do, based on the hint only, you are going to perform operations value of our two string things. So let's say here you have this empty bracket, that is empty array. So what if you are going to change this one into a string? What you will get? Any idea?
No,
And
I don't know.
see what will happen. Right now I'm going to apply here to a string. You will get empty string here. What you are getting here? Empty string. So empty string is a primitive or not? Tell me. A string is primitive or not?
Yes, yes, primitive, sir.
Yeah, so this is primitive. Okay, so you are getting here this one. What if you are going to pass here one? You will get single quote 1, even though if you are passing in array. If you will pass 1 comma 2, you will get 1 comma 2 as a string. If you will pass 1 comma 2 comma 3, you will get 1 comma 2 comma 3 as a string. What is happening actually, whenever you will try to convert something into two primitive? So this is, you can see here we have object, and inside this object, array is also kind of object, no? So inside this object we have numeric values. So these values are actually primitive. Okay, so always the object will be the combination of the primitives only. Okay, so here we have number. You can add some boolean also, 1 comma true comma 3 comma null comma undefined. So many things are there. So it will try to convert into first what? Into primitive. Then only it will try to perform any other operation. So to make these things into primitive, or to change these one into primitive, first we need to apply based on the hint. Here we have object. So I'm going to change this one into toString, because whenever you have any object and you will try to perform the value of operation, you will get the same result. So value of, so you are getting the same result, isn't it, this array? So no need to use the value of when you have object. Simply you can go with the toString. So here you are getting object only, so that is again a non-primitive value. So there's no use of this value of with object. So here I'm applying this toString operation and I'm getting a primitive value. Okay, so if you will apply here 1 comma 2 comma 3, you are getting like this. What if you have here simply, let's say, null, and you will try to convert that into primitive? So inside object, I'm saying simply if you will pass null, no, so that will be in single quote null. But if you have this null is an object format, so null is kind of empty value for the object, emptiness you can say. So here we have empty value. The same thing if you will do with the undefined, you will get empty value only. Okay, and do remember these things. So right now this is not a primitive value. Here we have non-primitive value because this undefined is inside an array, isn't it? So that's why you are getting here empty string. What if you have like undefined comma null? So you will get empty string as a like comma separated values. Okay, now what if you have let's say like multiple nested empty arrays? So simply if you have this one empty array, you are getting empty string. If you have nested empty array, you will get again like that only. So if you have nested arrays like this, you will get a comma separated values. If you have again nested value like this, you will get just comma separated values here. Okay, so like that it is working. So just it is trying to convert into primitive by using this toString what we say method. What if you are going to pass an empty object? So in JavaScript we will learn about object, but here if you are passing this one, no, simply this curly brace, so it will assume this one as an object. So here right now you can see if you will pass any object like this empty object, you will get object in array. Okay, even though if you will pass any like key value pair, let's say a colon 43 or 45, you will get the same result. It is not passing, simply you it is giving you a string data here inside this single quote. Okay, some corner cases are there that we have seen, like if you're trying to convert -0 into 0, means sorry, -0 into a string, you are getting 0 only. Okay, and if you are passing null to convert this one into a string, you are getting double quote string only. Undefined is also double quote undefined. But whenever you are passing this one, see, let's say here we have, instead of doing this, simply I'm going to make this one, this function, a string here, null. Internally that is also doing the same thing, but here you are getting null, empty string, you will get inside this as an object. If you'll pass null, you will get empty string only, because that is kind of empty value. Same way, if you will pass here undefined, okay, so you will get undefined in single quote. But if you pass the same thing inside this curly sorry array bracket, you will get empty string. So that thing you need to remember. Okay, so this is the all list that you can check out here, and when you will watch video you can note down whenever you are trying to convert something normal primitive values, that also I have shown you. And whenever you are going to convert any object into a string, how it is going to convert. First it will try to do primitive things. Okay, if it is not a primitive value. Another abstract operation here we have, that is to number. When you want to convert something, any value to number, then how actually it is going to work. So I'll start with the primitive. Okay. We have a number function that also we can use to convert anything to number. Let's say here you are passing this a string 1 2, so that is a string actually, but it is trying to it is converting here in 12. Instead of writing that, what we can do is simply we can write let's say here we have 12, just we'll add a plus before that, so it will convert into number. So that short trick we can use. So let's say here we have, now we are going to start. If you want to convert anything to number, what values you are going to get, that I'm going to show you. So this will actually help you to do like implicit conversion, how actually it is happening in real time. Let's say here you have empty string. If you will convert this empty string into number, what you will get, anyone?
0.
Exactly, 0. You'll get 0. What if you are going to convert single quote or double quote, and here we have 0, let's say this one 0. Now if you'll convert this one into number, then any idea, anyone?
It mm, it gives 0 only.
It will give you 0 only. Fine. What if here we have -0, and you will try to convert this one into number, then
-0.
-0
0.
is -0 only. So in a string, if you will convert -0, so it will give you just 0 in double quote. Okay. But if you're trying to convert from a string to number, it will give you the exact number. Okay. Now, what if you have, let's say here 0 0 17. If you'll try to convert this one into number, what you will get,
17.
right? It will skip the trailing zeros. Let's say here what we have, 65.87. Then if we'll try to convert into number,
I think it's get the exact value 65.87.
in number, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if I'll try to convert, let's say 0 point into number,
It gives
then
0. It gives 0.
it will give you 0. What if 0.0?
Yeah, I think it also gives 0. So what will be
0.01?
0.0 0.1.
0.01.
0.01.
You'll get the same
It will
number.
come.
Same, yeah.
Okay, fine. What if you have 0B101?
Four,
101 is 5, right?
five.
It will give you
5.
5. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, tell me one thing. What if you have here 0, 0, 10? What it will do? As per the
Uh,
octal number,
oct-
it will change into 8,
8.
isn't it? Now, we have 0xf.
15.
15. It is going to convert into 15. Now we have, let's say, 0.0. If you'll try to convert this one into number,
0.
0 only you will get. Now, what if you have dot? What you will get? Anyone? You will get not a number, because if you'll try to convert a dot into number, that is not a valid number. So it is, you can say simply it is invalid number. We cannot convert this one into number. Okay. Let's say here we have magic. If we'll try to convert this one into number,
Not a
No.
number.
not a number, because you cannot convert this one into number. That is not a valid thing. Okay. So if you're getting any string which is not possible to convert into number, it will give you not a number, not a error. Okay. Instead of error here, just it is going to give you an invalid number. Okay. Now, let's say we are done with the string thing. Let's say now you are trying to convert something from like Boolean. Here we have false. If you'll convert this false into number, what you will get?
0.
Not a number.
0. Exactly, because this is not an string.
No,
What if you are going to convert the true?
it's 1.
It's 1. Okay. What if you are going to convert null into number?
It
You
will
will get,
0.
it will be 0. What if you are going to convert undefined into number?
Not a number.
Exactly, this is not a number. Okay, so these basic things you need to remember actually how it is working. Okay. So not a number as per the IEEE 754 standard. So this is an invalid number which is not equal to itself. Okay. If you'll try to convert this number, like if you'll compare actually this number, let's say here we have 2 double equal to 2, no? So it is giving me as a true because 2 is equal to true. But if you'll try to convert not a number double equal to not a number, it will give you false because it is not equal to itself. Okay, so this is an invalid number. Fine. Let's say for non-primitive value, how it is going to convert into number. If you have a non-primitive value, like an object you have, then same thing. It is going to convert first what into 2 primitive, and then whatever 2 primitive value will be there, it will convert that primitive value to number. So let's say here we have now, just now we have seen if you have like this empty object or empty array. Okay, so this is primitive or non-primitive? This is primitive or non-primitive? Anyone can tell me? This is non-primitive, no? So if you will try to convert this one into primitive, I'm applying here a string operation here. First I'm doing that is a string. So now it is primitive, and whatever the end result you are getting, then it will perform the number operation on that. Okay. So if we have here, whenever you are giving this one, so this is a empty object. First, it will perform the string operation, means two string. You can assume this one as a two string. So if you'll try to convert this empty array into a string, what you are getting? Empty array as empty string. Now, if you will perform the number operation on empty string, you will get 0. So whenever you have empty array, you will get 0 in number. Now let's say here you have like this one. Okay, what you are getting here? Again a string, and you will perform the same number operation on this one, you will get 0. Now let's say here you have 0. Okay, and now if you'll perform this again, the same thing here, you will get. So first you need to convert. If you have non-primitive value, always you need to convert into primitive. So to convert any non-primitive value to primitive here, you need to use toString, and after that you will get primitive value, then apply the toNumber function to change that one into number. The next thing here we have after this, what if you have -0? So -0 means in a string, if you have -0, you will get -0 only, isn't it? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you have, let's say in object, you have null. So as I said, in a string conversion, if you want to convert this one into number, you are getting here as empty string. An empty string, if you'll convert that empty string into number, you will get again 0. If you have instead of null, okay, let's say undefined, so it will convert first into a string, and again you are getting empty string, and empty string, if you'll convert into number, that will be 0. So let's try this one directly. So plus, if you have this one, you are getting 0, plus this one you are getting 0, this one also you are getting 0, this one you are getting -0. Here if you have, let's say, null, you are getting 0. If you have undefined, you are getting 0. So how actually it is working now, you know, everyone?
Yes.
Internally, what is happening? First, it is converting into two primitive, and then it is performing what operation? Two number operation, isn't it? Now, one thing here, let's say if we have 1 comma 2 comma 3, if you will try to convert this one into number, what will happen? Not this one, let's say this one only. Anyone? You will get 7. How? Let's see here. If you have 7 inside that one, it will try to coerce into two string. So two string perform operation it will perform, then you will get single quote 7. Okay, first thing, it is converting into primitive. Now this is a string, isn't it? So a string is a primitive, and now that value 7, if you'll convert into number, you will get 7. So internally the same thing is happening here. That is kind of abstraction. That's why I said I'm going to explain you about the abstract operations of JavaScript. The first I have shown you the two primitive, then two string. Now this is two number. Okay, now we have seen that one. Now tell me about 1 comma 2 comma 3, or let's say 1 comma 2 only. If you'll convert this one into number, what will happen? Anyone, any idea? You will get not a number. The reason is, if you'll convert 1 comma 2, okay, 1 comma 2, you will get 1 comma 2 as a string. So here we have a comma that is an invalid character for numbers. So if you'll try to convert this one, simply 1 comma 2 into number, you will get not a number. Okay, not a number you are getting. Fine. Now if you have, let's say, the nested array. Okay, nested array. If we try to convert this one into number, then you will get 0, because if we'll perform here the same operation, let's say the two string operation on this one, simply you are getting empty string. If you'll pass here 1, you'll get single quote 1. So single quote 1, if you have like this, you will get 1. Okay, is that clear? What if you are going to change this one empty object into number? You will get not a number. So not a number is coming because here you will get object in single array if it will try to convert this one. Okay, so these things you are getting, no? So if you'll try to convert this string into number, obviously you will get not a number, because you cannot convert this string into number. As I have shown you, like here, if you'll write something like that, let's say ABC or something, SBSS, any string, so that we cannot convert into number, isn't it? Any question? No. Now one thing here, let's say here you have a empty space. Now if you'll try to convert this one into number, then because this is not an empty string. Anyone?
0.
Why 0?
I think it not considered blank space.
Yeah, it will not consider blank space and it will give you a 0. Fine. What if I have here, let's say \t and then \n, these escape sequences are there, like for tab and new line?
Not a number.
It'll give you not a number.
Yeah.
Still you will get 0, because \t is also kind of white space.
Okay.
It will ignore the escape sequences also. Okay, so whenever you are going to work with the two number things, these abstract operation will perform like this only. Okay, let's say one thing, in comparison we have seen, no, abstract operation we are going to see now. If I'm saying 1 is greater than 2, that is false. We have seen already, no? 1 is less than 2 is true. If I'm saying mom is greater than dad, then what will be the output? Any idea?
No, sir.
You will get true here. So how it is working? I'll tell you. See here what is happening. So let's say here we have M, just mom, first letter. One by one, it will match actually the first character of mom and first character of dad. The first character of mom is M. So here we have like Unicode thing. It will check char code at index what? 0. That is 77. Okay. And for D, it is 68. Which is greater? 77 is greater than?
77.
So internally,
68.
it is checking the Unicode. Okay. whenever you are comparing the string. Internally, this is happening here. One more thing. Let's say here we have m, okay, is greater than small m. It is giving me false, because if you'll check here, no, small m as a Unicode, here we have 109. So 109 is obviously greater than 77. So if the first character is same, if you have mom, another side is magic. So first m is common. If the case is same, so it will discard that one. It will go for the next index. One by one, it will compare the string if we are using this relational operator. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now one thing, just now we have seen, no? So tell me one thing, if we have undefined, and I'm saying undefined is greater than 0, what will be the output? True or false? True or false? Anyone? It will be false. Let's say we have now undefined is less than 0. Output? Anyone? False. Now undefined is, okay, double equal to undefined. Anyone? What will be the output?
Undefined.
You'll get false. Why it is giving me false in every condition? Neither it is greater, not less, not equal. It is
In equal,
equal.
it's giving. Yeah.
Sorry, I have given, sorry, this one. So 0. 0 I was comparing, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is giving me again false. Neither it is greater, not less, not equal. What type of number it is actually? So if you'll see what is happening, internally, it is converting each and everything into number. So if you'll convert undefined into number, what you will get? Just now we have seen, not a number,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it? And as I said, not a number, as per the IEEE 754 document, it is not equal to itself. So if you'll compare not a number is greater than 0, you'll get false. Not a number is less than 0, that is again false. Not a number is double equal to 0, that is again false. So internally, what is happening here? Internally here, implicit conversion is happening, isn't it? Implicitly, JavaScript engine is trying to convert here undefined into number, because here we have two different types. Here we have undefined, here we have number. Those two values are primitive, but not of same type, isn't it? So undefined will be converted into number. So if you'll try to convert undefined into number, you will get not a number. So not a number is greater than 0, false. Not a number is less than 0, false. Not a number is equal to 0, false. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, another also the major one, abstraction, you can say the thing is there in JavaScript, that is two Boolean. Two Boolean. Okay. So do you remember those falsy values? We have 0, minus 0, if you have plus 0. So plus 0 and simple 0 is same. Okay. Then we have not a number. We have another thing is null. we have undefined, we have false, we have empty string like this one, double quote or single quote or template literal also they have introduced in ECMAScript 6. So if you are using these things, everything is what?
False
Falsy
value.
values. So except this, whatever you are trying to convert into Boolean, you will get true. Okay. So let's say here we have Boolean as a function. We were using the string. No, here we have Boolean. If you'll pass simply here empty array, you are getting true because that is not in that falsy list,
Okay.
isn't it? That we have seen already. So if you are trying to convert these things, into Boolean, you need to just check this thing. Okay. One more thing. Internally, you have seen how JavaScript engine is converting. I'm not doing anything. Internally, that is converting into Boolean or in a string or in number. What if you have to explicitly convert anything into number? So let's say here you have this one, 12. You can use plus, it is converting into number. You can use minus to convert this one into minus number, but still it is converting. You can use this, what we say, complement thing. Okay, still it is converting into number. You can see explicitly, but in the different form. We have directly the number function that also we can use to convert this one into number. So these are the explicitly we are converting these things into number. Now, what if you have here 12 and want to convert into a string? So one way is simply we can do this thing dot to a string, isn't it? Dot to a string. I'm able to do this. Else we can go with simply this one is also working. We can do this also. This is also working. How it is working? Internally, it is trying to convert this one into a string, or not a string, into two primitive. So two primitive means it will give you empty string. Empty string plus 12 will be 12 internally. Okay. Another thing you can do is, instead of doing this, simply add this empty string plus 12. You will get this. Now, what if you have, let's say, any value here like this, and you want to check whether it is true or false? Two exclamation mark will work like what? Boolean. 12 is true, 0 is false, and false is obviously false. Okay. Then what if we have empty array that is true? So you can use either double exclamation mark, or we have Boolean, isn't it? 13 is true, 23 is true, empty array is true, empty object is true, because that is not in that false list. What if you are using just single exclamation mark? You will get just opposite, isn't it? Right now the Boolean value, this one is, if you will check as per Boolean, you will get true, but here just I'm converting whatever it is, flip that. It is true, so it is giving me false. I'm adding one exclamation mark. So if you are using just one, it is flipping. Again, if you'll use, it will flip again from false to true. Again, if you'll use one more, it will again flip from true to false. You can use these many, and just it is flipping. Okay. So in interview, they might ask you like this, like if they will give you simply not two, just three, you might be thinking like, hey, this is a wrong expression. How we can write three times not? So it is working actually. Just it is flipping each and every time. Okay. So that you need to remember. So this is all about the what we say, the abstraction. We will see tomorrow about the equality. Okay, how actually equality works. But yeah, that we will see. But before that, we have one thing here called boxing. What exactly the boxing is? Let's say here we have one string called, let's say my name is Danish. Okay, this is a primitive value, and in primitive we cannot use any property because this is not an object. But if I'm writing here length, no, it is giving me the length of this string. How? What is happening? So internally what it is doing, internally JavaScript is offering me, like here whatever string here you have, no, I'm going to convert this one into object, and then you can perform this length operation on it. Internally it is happening. So that is also part of coercion, and this is known as boxing in JavaScript. Okay, so you guys have any question?